It's August 16th, JLD here, and welcome to MSTR and the Treasury Titans. Apologies for missing yesterday's show. Was on the lake touching water yesterday, which I highly recommend for everybody at some point during the summer. And I hope everybody is well. We have so much to get to. There's a lot going on right now, and nothing is financial advice, but we have a lot of great content to dive into. So without any further ado, let's talk about how Michael Saylor wants us to know that Satoshi started a fire in cyberspace. It's so true. He started that fire, but I'll tell you what, over the past 5+ years, nobody has been better at tending that fire, at fanning those flames than Michael flippin' Saylor. And if you think that is not the case, you should go find another company to both invest and follow in because, man, it has been an absolute masterclass. On that note, Michael Saylor wants us to brave the dragon. And we all know dragons exist out there. Bear markets, pullbacks, FUD, bears, they exist everywhere. And we need to brave those dragons. That's why we are a community. We come together during the challenging times. We celebrate the good times, and we keep on driving forward. Now let's dive into the Bitcoin therapist who just wants us to know nothing stops this train. 628,946 Bitcoin. Are you kidding me? How can you fade this? You simply don't understand Bitcoin if you are fading this. Period. End of story. Hugh jumps in here and says, one thing I've noticed about strategy bears is that they think too much. What do we call people who waste energy on unnecessary thinking? We call them poor. The only thing you should be thinking about is 628,946 Bitcoin. Don't overthink it. I gotta love these memes. They're so good. Chris just wants us to know that the wealthiest investors buy their best assets and do nothing. Literally, they buy the best assets and they do nothing. I have stories from everybody across the board, including my father, who says he would have done so much better if he had just not traded in and out of his best assets, if he had just bought and held. He admitted that to me this morning. And you know what? I am not going to make the same mistakes. I am buying the best assets and I am holding. There was an incredible report by Fidelity that came out a few months ago that said they tracked a ton, like tens of thousands of their investors. And there were two things that made the investors who made the most money, who had the best returns, had in common. So two things that the investors who made the best returns had these two things in common. Number one, they lost their passwords. They could not log into their account, literally. And number two, they had passed away. So obviously they were making no trades. So what is the moral of that story? Stop trying to pick up pennies in front of steamrollers. Come on. The Bitcoin therapist says, so you're telling me the largest Bitcoin treasury in the world by tenfold with the most innovative financial products are trading at a 1.6 multiple of their Bitcoin holdings, while the average S&P 500 company PE trades at 30x? Not a flipping chance. Market is wrong. And I'm not going to agree with him that the market's wrong. I'm going to say the market is dead wrong. Strategy actually posted our Bitcoin principle number 2, prioritize MSTR common stock long-term value creation. These Bitcoin principles are amazing. I actually literally want to get, I've never wanted a tattoo before. I may want to get this tattoo on my body somewhere. Let me know in the comment section, should I get all 9 of these Bitcoin principles tattooed on my body or just number 2? Because I do love number 2. Prioritize MSTR common stock long-term value creation. Just remember, Michael Saylor, Fong Li, the entire strategy team, they are cooking for us, the common stock holders, every single day. Michael Saylor wants us to know the road is now clear for Bitcoin and banking, and that's when the Federal Reserve announced it's going to sunset its novel activity supervision program. When Michael Saylor gets excited about something, I'm excited about it too. The Bitcoin therapist says there are estimates that strategy could see as much as $30 billion in passive capital inflow during the 6 months following an S&P 500 inclusion this fall. Wow. Let's hope that happens. But if it doesn't, guess what? It's inevitable. Bewilderment is intensifying rapidly and globally, Jeff wants us to know. Permanent capital held by a publicly traded corporation providing incredible, transparent Bitcoin-backed securities is really starting to break brains. TradFi doesn't get the Bitcoin. Crypto doesn't get the TradFi. Higher. And if you just want to laugh, go ahead and watch this video that Jeff posted below of Nick O'Neill. It was so comical. It was like comic relief for me. Like I literally was like doing that laughing where tears were coming out of my eyes. It was great. I'll post in the show notes below. Good stuff for sure. Ragnar says Michael Saylor's masterclass on Bitcoin volatility. Volatility is a gift to the faithful. And then instead of reading this right here to you, I'm actually going to be playing this video for you of him saying this entire masterclass when we get back from thanking our sponsors. PayPal just made it official. They're letting US merchants accept Bitcoin. That's not just a news story. It's a sign of where things are going, and it raises a critical question. If the world is shifting toward Bitcoin, are you doing enough to participate? Because here's a powerful way to go further. Convert an old 401k or IRA into a crypto IRA with the help of Bit IRA. Bit IRA will help you convert it free of taxes or penalties. And here's why you'll love them. End-to-end insurance, highly secure storage, multi-encryption, and registered with the US government. And it's fully IRS compliant. Best of all, you can trade crypto within your retirement account without taxes incurred on any buys or sells. If you already put money into an IRA or employer-sponsored 401k on a regular basis, why not invest into a Bitcoin IRA each month? Just go to bitira.com/JLD and request a free info guide. Once you do that and open your IRA, you'll get a free ledger. Again, that's bitira.com/JLD to open a tax-sheltered IRA in Bitcoin.
Volatility was a gift to the faithful. It scares away the tourist. It scares away the lazy. It scares away the people that are already conventionally rich, that have all the money. If you're a 20-something or a 30-something and you're willing to do the work, if you're willing to spend 100 hours or 200 hours, if you have more time than money, then the volatility of Bitcoin is a gift to you. If you have more money than time and you're arrogant and egotistical and you just pick the obvious, then if the volatility goes away, you buy Bitcoin. If people in the rest of the world knew what I know and they understood and they agreed with me, Bitcoin would go to $10 million tomorrow. And if Bitcoin went to $10 million tomorrow, I want you to think about how you would feel and how your viewers would feel, because you would lose 20 years of stacking opportunity during which you get to buy at less than $10 million. So the difference between $10 million and 100,000, that's what you give up if the volatility goes away and people start to agree with you. This is kind of a historic entry point because all of the risk has been stripped off the asset. Like, you pretty much know Wall Street's going to embrace it, the U.S. government's going to embrace it, and banks in the U.S. going to embrace it, which means that all the other banks will embrace it. You already know all those things, and yet the market is really skittish based upon concerns about tariffs, the disposition of the U.S. economy, the interest rate forward graph. And so you see the interest rates have pulled in 30, 40, 50 basis points. And we're in this macro risk off zone. When that flips, I think Bitcoin will rip forward with a vengeance. Now, you said Wall Street's going to embrace it, and that is true, but still, it's limited. I've been talking to these RIAs here. Many of them are very interested in Bitcoin, but a lot of them have questions when I walk around and say, what do you want to hear from Michael Saylor? They say, well, we're still concerned about suitability issues. We still have issues about recommending them to our clients. This is still a real concern. What do you say to those who are still concerned about suitability? The only asset endorsed by a president of the United States in 50 years is Bitcoin. I mean, go back in the last 200 years in the history of the country, and I think if you go to the founding fathers, they wrote in the Constitution that money is silver and gold coin. And then at some point there was a chicken in every pot. And maybe with the founding of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, we endorsed everybody to single family home ownership. But in the 21st century, you have just one asset, Bitcoin. The president saying, don't sell your Bitcoin, saying more than that, saying the United States won't sell its Bitcoin. And so everything else you put your client into, if the US government seized any other security that you sold to a client, if they seized any collectible, any art, any real estate, they would sell it. The only thing that the US government won't sell if they are to seize it is Bitcoin. What's the second best? There is no second best.